What's going on, YouTubes? It's time for another recap. Let's hop into the last YouTube video. If you guys checked it out, I need to play a little snippet of this one real quick. The play button would actually work. If we do lose that and it continues weakness, we're going to the 200 EMA below it right here. So I would use this as a catalyst between and go 200 EMA down under weekly. So again, under 25. 457.93. No, that would be a wash down to the 200 EMA. You're going to target that 200 EMA for that short. If we stay above this weekly, chop a little bit, get a little bit of relief back up. This is where the 15 minutes going to help you out. We're going to jump into some no GP tags for this move. So the 15 minutes up here, as you can tell, we got a couple of big gnarly candles up here that have no GP. What I mean by that is if you... All right, guys, if you want to check that out, I'm going to throw the link to the description in that video, but I just wanted to show you a little snippet of our breakdown from yesterday and get into the trades for today. So as the video said and as we implied there, we had an opportunity to see over under 20,457, which I didn't say right in the video, 0.93. And that's where we gave a over under opportunity, right? And we talked about this in the video for yesterday. So let's take a peek at what happened here. So in this last video, and again, I'll put it in the link in the description, I said if we open up kind of up here in a gap up, no interest in playing. But if we open up a nice low open, we're going to hold that weekly. We're going to head towards the GP. Nice little scalp there, but we shied it, okay? And then I gave you the targets of this golden pocket after we hit the short target. So I said here, and you can see the structure break very easily. High, that's right, high day. Down, lower low, lower high, lower low, base consolidation, huge confirmations all through the RSI MACD coming down. So you've seen that weekly break coming, which we had discussed was going to go right to the 200 EMA, right? And then we almost got really close to 20,000 just flat, which is perfectly fine because we've been talking for over 2 months. We had algo targets at 20,320s. So I had algo targets this low. Waka right there is that really interesting open. We're right where those algos were. So the trade was called under the weekly into the 200 EMA. Watch for a bounce after that, okay? So we put these interesting tidbits out every day on YouTube, on the recaps. Check them out. Now, before I left my crew right here, I went to here and I said, all right, guys, you guys get a good long play setting up for the end here, okay? We had SPY or QQ. It doesn't really matter. We're looking pretty good together here. And all I wanted to see is the 5 minute kind of hold the higher low here, right? Remount to the 200s. And push back up, okay? And we discussed in that last video, we had a couple 1 minute gaps left open, okay? So yesterday, as you see here, we're not on the 1 minute chart, but we have these 1 minute gaps marked on QQQ, 505.76, 507.79. Those are going to be targetable bounces off the 200 moving averages we are going to get, okay? So for my crew, we had one on the SPY as well. So let's go over that. And I told everybody again, if we shy this, we're going to come squeezing back up to zone. Okay. So on our lives, we called this giant pocket channel and we were going to come down to the 200. And I told my crew, and I came in, if we shy this, which we talk about shies on every single time frame, we had a couple today in the QQQ for the 100 EMA on that 5 minute that worked beautiful. And man, these shies work well. And let's take a peek at this. So opened up, lost yesterday's lows, came almost down to the 200 SMA with that big dash purple and EMA with the small dash, okay? So the EMA under 569.31, SMA 571.12. And for my crew here again, I said, guys, launch yourself up here. Just take her long. We don't know what Trump's going to do, but you got to go long back towards that VWAP, back towards that 100 EMA. I think we talked about the 1 minute as well, but the 5 minute had a really good higher low we were talking about, but the 1 minutes were going to be those targets all the way back up to moving average, like the 100 EMA. And then once you mounted the 100 EMA, you just use it as a flip. It's a confirmation. So here's that base, higher low, came down, mounted the green 100 EMA right here, got over VWAP and the 100 EMA, and that's where your trend swapped. And then we said it could come all the way back up. So what's to come? Okay, so just to noteworthy here on QQQ and SPY, we do have these gaps open. These algo tails are going to be, interestingly enough, to most likely fill tomorrow on the continued kind of bounce that we've seen here today so far. But two really big things I want to cover here are going to kind of stop us on our track. So make sure you guys chart off these 1 minute gaps. So you have targets for tomorrow's long. That one's a little low. Guess it didn't matter that much because it's just the low side of the gap. Throw to the 5 minute chart here. And here's where the two scenarios are going to play out, okay? We had a very interesting zone, which we said was going to be a nice little short op. It was going to be this gap fill, and it was all about Qs. Now, SPY had it, but SPY already came down and filled off this 100 EMA with this daily candle. So the dailies that we predicted were more based on the QQQ after the NVIDIA earnings washout potential, right? And we said if NVIDIA is the catalyst, it should wash out, and we'll come down to the triple gap. And we talked a lot about on the live why it was coming down here. I'm not going to spend too much time on that just to waste time. And then I said, we'll see the 200 moving average. Well, Q's made it first. SPY's not here yet, okay? So keep that in mind when you see SPY potentially drag this sucker back down or bounce to play. So here are the two scenarios that we're going to see play out, and it's our job as day traders to figure this out. So I'll show you how to set up the trade for tomorrow. So we had a really good intraday double bottom, higher low 5 minute here to play this all the way back up, okay? Now, notably here, notice right here, okay, no GP still. This candle is very important, okay? So this candle right here at 3.3, that's going to be notably a major support for us at 579.90. Notice where that open and that close were, okay? So if we get inside the candle and hold 579.90s, we're going to head back to this golden pocket right here between 586.58 and 590.70. Okay, but how do we get up there? What's the confirmation? So we're going to make these gold so we know which candle we're talking about, and then we're going to go to the new candle that we had made today. We're going to take the high, we're going to take the low, and this is where it gets a little fun. So we have a fib overlap, right? And we did close kind of low, but now we have new GPs to worry about because today's high-low is going to create its own daily GPs, right? We're going to go to that intraday chart like this. Then we're going to see a couple different things. Now, we had an intraday algo here again, pretty gnarly little blip there, 12:55 my time, Central. And if you do see this, you can actually use this as a fib out as well, because we do like to fib out these algo candles that are, kind of specific. But if you do this one high to low and send it to the right, you're actually going to kind of overlap a lot of the same levels. So the daily is going to kind of take precedence over this one. The intraday is going to give you some good targets, though. So if we do look at that intraday metric and say, where can we possibly go? Well, we're talking to getting back all the way to this golden GP. So the 2618, putting it way at 591.62 is actually quite nice. So what we did was we just fibbed out the high-low 5 minute right here. And then we're using the extensions, 1618, and then the other one was above the golden pocket, 2618 right here. And that is from the high-low, okay? So if we actually do go over 581, we're going to do 585 and then get into the gold. Now, more importantly, we're going to use those dailies, okay? And tomorrow, we're going to come to the daily, and we're going to see hopefully a bounce continuation, because anything above the golden pocket that we had just created right here, which means anything above 577.26, okay? We only have two scenarios here. We're going to hold this golden pocket. We're going to range all the way back up to this golden pocket, and we're going to build some candles like this. This is scenario one, right? Obviously, we're not going to be able to predict the exact handling here, but might be something like that. And then it'll probably wick down a little bit from the golden pocket and close wherever it wants to close. But if we stay out of this range where we're going to stay above that 585, it's going to squeeze further into the GP. If that happens, we're only hunting for one target to the long side, and that's the 10 SMA daily in the blue right here. Because since we had washed the 10 SMA in this giant move here at 221, we've actually never returned to that 10 SMA yet. So that's going to be a confirmational point and a magnet for the price action. So above for scenario one, 577, moving into the golden pocket. That's going to be the best play, okay? So from here, a golden pocket hold to the golden pocket no tag. And again, the biggest recovery level is 579.90. So even if you don't want to play, let's say we get a high pace day, and we don't even worry about this GP. We actually open up quite strong, and we're like, okay, well, futures drag us up a little bit, and we're way up here, and we end up opening super high. Right? We're over 579.90. We are inside this big red guy here, and we are now using yesterday's open along with 579.90 as support to move us up to this GP. That's going to be the high pace move, and it's going to be a really, really clean scalp to the GP. 66 points on ES. That's going to be massive, okay? So for that to work, we do need to open inside that. Now, the second scenario is like, okay, well, if it opens in line and it gets a little lazy and we just hold this GP, there's a chance we don't hold it. So inevitably, still, the body of today, and the GP are going to be major support points to push us back up to inevitably getting to here. Our whole target long is going to be developed for this move right here. Okay, needs to come up to 587, 588. That is the golden pocket of this guy here. Now, finally, though, because the 10 SMA is kind of so far away, we could get one more kind of day, you know, digesting tariffs, might be an inside day to this candle, and then kind of push back up. That way, for one more day of wait, the 10 SMA might actually catch back up for that secondary candle, find the golden pocket, and then down. Okay. Scenario number 2 is we're not going to get any of that support. We're actually going to open weak. This is going to be depending on the futures and how they act overnight. And let's say that happens and it's still going to be magnet to the 200s because we still haven't hit our actual target from our short prediction for the long term, right? We talked about the NVIDIA dumping it to the triple gap on QQQ we went over, but we still have the 200s to hit on the SPY. QQQ has already hit, and SPY is still the better market, so the SPY can still control us, and I think SPY will come back here. Scenario 2 is going to be an interesting one because scenario 2, if we open up and we stay weak for the week and we come down here to the 200s, we have an opportunity to bounce that 200 area first and then start ripper on up to a lower high. What I mean by that is we have some no GP tags left open at that point. So if scenario B plays out and we open low and we push down into the 200s, that would leave us with candle number 1 with no GP tag. Today would be candle number 2 with no GP tag, right? Because that would open low down here. And then that would be the third candle, and we just kind of hover low, close in those 200s. And if it doesn't want to pick back up, the next day, okay, Wednesday is going to be a big old potential bounce. Now, if it wants to keep ripping down, that's fine. It's still going to do whatever it wants to do, but nothing can go in a straight line. So we have a better opportunity right now because of the 1 minute gaps left open. Now, remember these guys here. See those 1 minute gaps? Where are those 1 minute gaps? Huh? On the way up to the 10 SMA daily we just talked about, to the golden pocket we just talked about. So if this one holds down here, man, I'm telling you, these high 570s, low 580s gets defended. We're coming to that GP up there, okay? QQQ is no different. Multi-gaps on the 1 minute. We will be returning to them, okay? Now, Qs, unlike the SPY, has acted really nice and actually got those GPs we're talking about already. So if we looked at SPY in this candle, the 3-3, we don't have GP tags like this, okay? So let's go over that real fast. We had a massive over-under for the day. Actually, I didn't really talk about our intraday trading, but we had a massive over-under of this algo. So I did a high-low algo right here. And then I took the golden pocket in the orange zone of this, and I said that's a massive over-under. We have it labeled right here. So if we're under it, it's massive. We're going down to the 200 EMA. We already discussed this in futures prediction yesterday, so I guess we didn't really need it, but that's just kind of the magnet, right? Because futures generally move faster than the ETF. And this is why you always want to trade NQ or ES on top of the QQQ, not really on top. You trade the NQ and the ES off of QQQ and SPY. So I'm trading ES. I'm activating trades on ES. I'm activating trades on NQ, but I am looking at QQQ and SPY. I do not care about the futures tickers or what they're doing. They don't matter at all when these are open to me. I mean, you might have a different style of trading, but I'll show you the difference here. Like the NQ, right? They always slip levels. So if I was an NQ trader, right, and I was coming down, and NQ was pushing into the 200 SMA. And oh, Brandon said yesterday we're going to the 200 EMA. Okay, cool. That was a short target. I didn't tell you it was going to bounce directly at the 200 EMA and fly through the space, right? Because why? Because the QQQs didn't hit it yet. So I don't give a shit what the futures do because they came into the 200 like this. And if you're just a futures trader, you've seen the 200s, you played the bounce and it's going to reverse. No, it's not. Womp. It slipped everything. And it crashed all the 200s, ended up way down at almost 20K. Why is that? Because the QQQ dragged you down. Because it was the QQQ's turn. Okay, we opened up market here into its 200 EMA. Okay, so we needed to do that first. Okay, and now, oh my goodness. There we go. We can see, I just want you to make sure you see this here, 8:30 a.m. This was the open of the market, okay? Right here in the futures. The futures were already into the 200. So you guys playing those 200 bounce points right at the open going, oh yeah, we got the futures are hitting the 200 EMA. That's the real, no, it's not. It's going to break that and it's going to slice down because QQQ owns this, okay? Don't care about NQ. Sorry, I just want to make sure that was very apparent to you guys to see on the screen. And whatever setting just popped up lets me not do tickers. All right. All right, with that being said, Let's talk a little bit about the end of the daily here because we were hunting for the 200s. We got it on the Qs, and I think if we keep shying and we don't come back down to the SPY's 200s now, we will cause an abrupt move now because of the straight line. And what I mean by obviously all-time high, straight line into the 200s. Nothing goes in a straight line. So we can pop up, find resistance before we come back down, and then it is SPY's turn to tag those 200s, okay? Because we already hit on the Qs. So if Qs is the support right now, what do? Well, same thing we do every day, Pinky. Try to predict the world. So we come in two. We're going to leave these on because we're going to take these off because we already hit the GP tag, right? What I'm going to do is fib out today's high-low, and we have a really nice doji connected to 2 moving averages. And you watch my last live, I tell you exactly why these candles are important and how to draw these Fibonacci's so perfect. And now this is going to be the sentiment. Now notice this perfect doji is in the lower half of the GP, okay? So prediction-wise, if we hold the doji or hold any of the golden pocket, we're going to come up to, you guessed it, the 1 minute gaps left open from yesterday. So we are going to have a green potential trade from anything holding the golden pocket up to the 1 minute tomorrow. And this is what the candle is going to look like. So I'll be playing this open from anything above doji body here, pushing into 507.79, 505.76. So if you go to that 1 minute chart, make sure you pay attention to where those gaps are, because if we hold above these, above the golden pocket here, we're going to shoot ourselves back there, okay? All the way up. But of course, it's all dependent on the open and what the futures do overnight. Because if SPY wants to do the scenario number 2 we talked about by leaking down to the 200s first before the bounce, well, just watch for it. We're going to play the chart accordingly, and those are the 2 scenarios. So, as I mentioned in the last video here, we are giving away top steps every Saturday when I do my live class teaching on YouTube. So this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm going to make a video every single day. And I'm going to pick a random video on Saturday. Might be Tuesday's video, might be Thursday's, might be Wednesday's. So all you got to do is comment on every single video this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you're entered. That's it, because I'm going to pick one of the videos, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know which one. We're just going to pick it at random. We're going to go through those comments. We're going to pick a winner from that. So we got to get you guys some traction. You got to get your consistency on those comments. So please subscribe, please comment, please like, and win a Top Step account if you want. Well, hopefully you do. If you want to see me trade this live, links in the description. I do this every morning. We narrate all of our trades. We try to dictate the market from everything we do, and I stream live for my crew all the time, every day, right? If you want to do that, links in the description. If not, tune into the next YouTube video for free. Love to have you. Take care. Trade safe.